Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John J. Gaiman on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Earlham Dynasty here in NCAA 14. We have our final game of Season 1 for you guys here today. We're playing against the Anderson Ravens. They're 7-4 overall with a 5-3 conference record. They're B-minuses across the board, whereas we have an F offense and a D- defense. So it's going to be an interesting one. It's Anderson's senior day, as we'll see if we can play as spoiler to Rain Patton leading us the way with 12 total touchdowns with Miami Thomas's 56 catches for 654 yards. Meanwhile, for Anderson, they got a guy in Gallinger who's having a solid year, 2,200 yards passing and 17 touchdowns. But Ron Dukes, though, he is a heck of a running back with 14 TDs. He's going to be a problem, man. We're going to have to find a way to deal with it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this game going between your Earlham Quakers and the Anderson Ravens. Let's get it! Alright, man, so we are here in Anderson, Indiana. It's time for us to go to work, man. It's the first play of the game, trying to get it out to Miami Thomas, but it's incomplete, though. And we're already facing third and long and are in big need of a big play right now. As Rain Patton, he's going to roll out. He's going to find St. Wilhelm down the right sideline, 32 yards. And that's going to take us right into Anderson territory. Beautiful start. He's got a 1st and 10 coming up here. Going to go up the gut with Aaron Ball, and he gets us a good run as well. But there's a catch as well. There's a holding penalty, and they're going to call it on the offense. Brian Smith is guilty. That makes it 1st and 17 now. A great run play, just negated by a bad penalty. As we try to throw over the middle, was waiting for Miami Thomas, who was butt naked open, but it's incomplete. As now we got 2nd and 17 coming up here. Patton dropping back to pass, looking around, trying to find somebody, but nobody was able to get open there. So another incomplete pass. And now we got 3rd and long once again. This time a 3rd and 17 as Patton throwing over the middle finds Henry B. York and is able to hang on and make the catch as well. Good for 23 yards. And that's a 1st down there on the play. As we got 2nd and 10 coming up here. Patton going to drop back. No, handed off to back up the fullback, John Evans. It looks like we have another penalty, and it's a face mask this time around, and it's going to go against the Anderson Ravens. Javaris Henry guilty of the penalty. But still, we got another 3rd down here. We've converted the last 2. Can we get one more as Patton tries to make something happen, but can't find anybody open once again. Another incomplete pass. And so 4th and 11. We do decide to go and settle for a field goal, but we do at the very least have an early lead in this one. And we're hoping that our defense can turn around and get a stop for us here. But it's not off to a good start, though, as Gallinger already has a 20-yard completion. As now 1st and 10, going to throw short once again. This time finding Anderson, who plays for the Anderson Ravens. And Richard Anderson gets a 13-yard gain. You love to see it. Gotta love the wordplay, of course. As Gallinger will throw again. This time over to Nelson on the left sideline. He gets another 11 yards before going out of bounds. And now 1st and 10 coming up here. Gallinger dropping back. Throw it over the middle, but it's incomplete. Nice defense, just being in the right place in the right time, making it significantly harder to make the catch. And now we got 2nd and 10 now as Gallinger going to the outside. Going to go ahead and get a nice 9-yard gain as well. Nice tackle. Let's see if we can get him off the field here on this 1st and short. Would be absolutely huge for us, but we can't get the outside containment, and that's going to cost us dearly as Ryan Dukes gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. Anderson's going to take the lead right back. And things might get worse here after a terrible punt following a 3 and out for Earlham. We actually give phenomenal field position as Chris Quinn almost gets the interception, but that's also incomplete as well. So we got 2nd and 10 now coming up. Gallinger going to go to the right-hand side looking for Ryan Dukes, who picks up the first down. A gain of 10 is once again Earlham defense just on a different level of bad. And now a couple plays later now, facing another 2nd and 6. Gallinger going towards the end zone and finds Casey Brown again. Touchdown, Anderson. And we're not done with the first quarter yet, but it's not looking good for the Quakers once again. We're down 14-3 here as we have another first down once again. Earlham going to try to get another drive going here. Last drive didn't go too well. Hoping for some better days. The Terrain Patton does end up sliding down and picking up the first down as well. Surprised they didn't end up calling a late hit, but it is what it is. As now we got another 1st and 10 coming up here. Terrain Patton dropping back. Throw it over the middle and finds Henry B. York once again. This time good for a 17-yard catch on the play. As now we got 1st and 10 once more. As Patton gets under center. Going to drop back. Looking around. Going to throw it over the middle. Finds St. Wilhelm. And he also picks up the first down. The custom recruit putting in that work. The 2nd catch of the day. As Anderson looks like they're pressing on the outside. Might be able to win with an underneath route. As Patton drops back. Going to have to throw this one away as well, essentially. St. Wilhelm was kind of ready to make that catch, but we had no help with throwing an accurate ball. And so we got a 2nd and 10 to deal with this time. Trying to go with the play action, but did not have time to go through the reads. Very fortunate that they didn't call that a fumble. And they called it incompletion instead. But still a 3rd and long that we got to deal with as Patton going to the right-hand side. Gets to the St. Wilhelm, who fights forward for a 15-yard gain. As Earlham puts themselves in a position to make this a 1-score game once again. Although Patton fumbles the football, though, and it looks like one of the tight ends, Pete Wise, ends up falling on it, as that's how this first quarter going to end. Anderson is up 14-3, but Earlham has a drive going. Let's see if we can make this a 1-score game. So it looks like Terrain Patton got shaken up on the last play, so Matt Lewis is in the game here once again. 3rd and 16, and throws an incomplete pass here once again. Matt Lewis now looking good on the first passing attempt. Maybe he'll do a little bit better here as we have a 4th and 16 now as Matt Lewis will drop back. Going to try to throw it over the middle. Was looking for Pete Wise, but misses him badly. Chris Watson almost had himself an interception as well. But either way, the Anderson Ravens are going to take over on downs. And Gallinger going into work right away as Casey Brown goes right over the middle of the field for 44 yards. And the Anderson Ravens, man, they go in no huddle. And Gallinger throws quickly. Finds Nelson, breaks the tackle. And Caden Doman finally does bring him down before a 15-yard catch. But still a 1st and 10. And Anderson is quickly in the red zone here once again. Dukes going to the right-hand side, looking for some blocks and almost gets his way into the end zone as well. So another 1st and goal coming up here as Morris will go in under center, drop back, and finds Ryan Brown over the middle for another touchdown. And Anderson gets another score on the board and now make it a 21-3 affair. And Earlham just looking shell-shocked in its final game of Season 1. We actually have another 3 and out here as well. And so Anderson, they get the ball back. And again, since we can't punt the ball very well whatsoever, they have phenomenal field position once again. And now 2nd and 10. Gallinger dropping back. Going to scramble to the outside. Has some space to work with as well. And ends up picking up 10 as well. As we go to a few plays later. Now facing 3rd and long. Going to try to go downfield and finds Nelson. We get beat deep once again. We got to play better in the secondary. As it leads to another touchdown here again. And Anderson is now up 28-3 here in this game. We're here in the second quarter. And we're looking for our offense to get some kind of attack going. Because right now it's not looking too good for the boys in red. As now we got a 1st and 10 coming up. Terrain Patton facing the blitz. Getting out to the right hand side. Was looking for St. Wilhelm. but it's incomplete though. If so, we now got a 2nd and long once again, as Patton will drop back. Gonna try to throw it over to Aaron Ball. Dangerous throw, but it's incomplete once more. As we got 3rd and long coming up here to Rain Patton under center. We got 2 wide to the right. And Patton will drop back. Gonna roll to the right-hand side. Trying to throw it to Henry B. York, who cannot get up high enough, and it's going to be intercepted. Anderson even taking it back to the 45-yard line. Darrell Beck reading that perfectly, getting in front of Henry B. York at the last moment possible. And what's been a really rough game here for the Earlham Quakers. Looks like it could definitely get a lot worse here. As now we have a 2nd and long coming up. Gallinger throwing short over the right-hand side. Gets it to Dukes for a short gain. We initially had the flat covered, but good on Ryan Dukes to go ahead and try to, make a play for his quarterback. As we'll go ahead and sell for the run, but it turns into a pass play though, and Nelson wide butt naked open, of course, down the field. And we got a 1st and 10 once again for Anderson, as they go back to Dukes once again, who picks up 7 right up the middle of the field. We haven't given up 100 yards yet, but it hasn't been a good look for this defense so far. Can't stop a wet blanket. As Ryan Dukes picks up another 1st down here once again. Another 5-yard gain on top of that. As Earlham has not had any response whatsoever. As 2nd and goal, going to throw over the middle. Looking for Nelson, but drops the pass. Incomplete once more. As now we got 3rd and goal, trying to make a stand here. But they get to the outside. We did not have that outside contain. And backup tailback Jesse McLeod gets it to the end zone once more. And it makes it 35-3. And we don't even go 3 and out once more. So now Anderson, they still have an opportunity to go ahead and take an even bigger lead going into the locker room. As now we got 1st and 10. Gallinger dropping back. Throwing to the right-hand side. But that's good for the, 1st down. Although just a couple plays later now, facing a 2nd and 10. Gallinger again will drop back. Has a wide open hole to run through. Nobody can catch him. He's got running room on top of that too, and ends up sliding down as well. As Anderson will go ahead and take that 2nd time out. As now we got 1st and 10. Fernandez goes into motion. A power run to the right-hand side, and they certainly powered right through us here. Another touchdown for the Anderson Ravens. And they make this 42-3. We're not even in halftime yet. It's been a brutal one here for sure. Hopefully our offense can get something going here as Patton going deep. Gets it out to St. Wilhelm. He breaks the tackle too. 2 tackles, matter of fact. And it's a huge game for Earlham. As we get to the no huddle quickly, trying to get something going here before the end of the 1st half. As Patton drops back. Going to go ahead and just run out of bounds. But he fumbles the football. And now we got 2nd and 3 coming up here. Patton will drop back once more. Facing pressure. Gets it over the middle though. Henry B. York making the catch for a 10-yard gain. But it looks like Terrain Patton is shaking up next again. You want to talk about a tough kid. Terrain Patton is certainly one of those with the number of hits he hasn't taken over the course of the season. As now we have the backup quarterback in once again. Matt Lewis playing in relief in what's been a blowout so far for us. Matt Lewis will drop back. He gets smothered as well. It's another incompletion. He's still looking for his 1st completion of the day. He's 0 for 4 for right now. As we got 3rd and 10. Lewis will drop back in the pocket. Going to try to get up out of there. And it's incomplete, but at least didn't get sacked. But that also means we're dealing with a 4th down here. 23 seconds left. Lewis dropping back. Looking. Going to try to throw towards the end zone. Miami Thomas cannot win one-on-one, and that's also intercepted as well. Not a good look. And just a terrible half all around as the Anderson Ravens, they go into the locker room with a 42-3 lead. Hopefully 2nd half gets a little better. So let's hope that the 2nd half is better, as not only did we get absolutely rocked in this 1st half, but also we have to give the ball back to the Anderson Ravens as well. So it's certainly we are not having a good time here in our final game of Season 1, as Anderson is actually able to get a pretty decent return. And then on top of that, there's a face mask on us as well. So, yeah, definitely not having a good time. Jared Crosby being called for the face mask. As now we got 1st and 10. Duke's going to the outside with it and gets stiff-armed. Looks like Dane Swatter getting a massive stiff arm was taken to a different dimension. As a 2nd and short now, would not be surprised if this is a play action. And it's actually, no, a straight up pass play. Throwing short to Fernandez, the fullback, getting some action. He's able to pick up 7 off of that route. Good for his first catch of the day. As now we got another 1st and 10 going up here. We got Fernandez going into the motion once again. Same look, but this time it's a run play as Ryan Dukes takes it up close to the 1st down marker. That's good for 8 as well. He's on the verge of hitting 100 yards on the ground, only 5 away. Let's see if they go to him again, and it looks like they will. Ryan Dukes gets the blocks and does hit that century mark right there as well, picking up a gain of 6. Been out of this world, a 7.8 yard per carry average. So we have another 1st and 10 coming up here. Brown getting set into motion as Duke's going to go ahead, take it upfield. He's got the blocks, breaks off one tackler as Caden Doman finally does bring him down for a gain of 12. But a 1st and goal opportunity coming up for the Ravens, though. As he's in under center, Dukes taking it up the middle of the field. Almost another touchdown. Had to do everything possible to keep him out of the end zone, but that was almost touchdown number 3. As a couple plays later, it's a 3rd and goal, but we can't stop him again. Another touchdown. We'll get the backups in and sim to the end, man. It's not looking pretty, man. So definitely a tough one out there on the field. We actually get crushed. We lose 70-10. What a terrible way to end our first season. Returning back to college football, man. Let's go ahead and check out the stats for our guys. See if there's any bright spots here once again. And honestly, when you get beat this bad, there really isn't. Terrain Patton, he started for us 10 for 23, 174 yards and a pick, but we did pull him. He actually got hurt midway through the game, and so Matt Lewis, he had to come in and play some ball, and he didn't look any better. 7 for 30, 104 yards and 2 interceptions. Now, one thing that we did do, we did end up somehow finding the end zone. Michael Mason, he had 5 carries, 10 yards, had our only score of the day, but other than that, nothing really to see. Receivers got a ton of work though, but it was concentrated in 2 guys. St. Volhelm and Henry B. York got most of the catches. They combined for 12 catches between these 2 custom recruits. All the other receivers just had 5. And then finally, of course, when the defense gives up 70 points, what is there positive to say, man? Caden Doman, he at least led the team in tackles, but and Lonnie Morris actually had a sack as well, but again, we gave up 70 points, and this is a really difficult pill to swallow as we have to end our first season on this note. So that is actually going to end Season 1 here in the Earlham Dynasty. But we got a couple of surprises in store. Next episode will be a Big Earl football podcast where a couple of episodes will take place. Then the following episode will be the full off-season recap as we go into Season 2. We can only go up from here. We did win a game. We got to keep improving, though. And this is a painful reminder of that. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.